Malito makwa ni Francis Ngone, chairman wa Murang'a Farmers Co-operative Union. Alimeitwa kahua a Murang'a County ati union iri okuo. Ni tuthiagite uguo tukaigua andu makiuga kai union ituraga. No nyende kumera union ikuo na hinya muingi muno itari yakora inaguo. Gitumi hindi ya union area muoye ya geire na mathina. Ni kwahitanire na kahua gakigea na thogothogo na riu kahua thirikari nene ni icoketie mibango miega na muno makiria nyambe kumuiguithia ati union niyo mui iyo yariho kabere gutiri kindu kiayo ona kimwe kiurite indo citu cioho cirioho mathito maitu marioho duka citu cirioho manyumba maitu marioho turacoka turongerera githii gia guthia kahua kia milioni 100 kindu kia bata muno thiini wa mjadala kana thabari no ya gukorwo tugithii na reforms irenda ni tukoretwo twi biashara-ini ya kahua riu kindu hakuhi mwaka mugima na no ndimurie arimi a Murang'a reforms ciokire niguo ituteithie ithu arimi a kahua Kenya na kuringana na mutaratara aria mathondekaga reforms ni moi horo wa mutaratara wa cooperatives ni mekire undu wa bata muno guthengia confusion kana kiundu kirakoragwo kahua-ini mundu umwe gukorwo niwe maundu mothe mundu uria watigeirwo hinya ucio no murimi tondu murimi niwe mwene kahua ona acio magayanaga kahua gatiari kao riu umuthi watho ni twitikiretie mwathia kahua mwakonyora kahua na mwomithia Murang'a ni turakire githii very modern gutiri na githii kingi ta giki na aria mokite tone ingi mokite ni monete kahua gaitu turamirira guku kwa union guku ikundu na ti miru ira ari nguru ni miru modern ni ndagweta uhoro wa 100 million ihitukite miru ihitukitio ni thirikari nene andu othe aria magunuko makirora ndiramuria kuringana na maatho maria kuringana na maatho maria mekuo macio maratumire muone kwage na wa bararuku wa mathogora kuneneha kahua tungitukania ni tukuona mbeca na riu ningi no nyende kumuririkania guku ni kwanyu ni indo cianyu ni miru yanyu aingi anyu ni moi uria tuthiaga hindi yo na hau kabere twatwara kahua kwa andu aya angi uria matwikaga twatonyia kahua tutire handu hangi tuonanaga na kahua gaitu nginya ucoka ukarihwo ukerwo kahua warehe kaimire grade ino neno kwa union tu ukuhana ni uretonyeria kahua ugatigira ni kaigwo gagithio wi kuu gakiendio ni uretwo ni uramenyithio kila kitu ni transparent ni tuwe kahua kau ni gaitu koguo ni turamuthaitha na tukamuhoya tigai gwitikira union ni cenjetie union ire tari na wira hihi nikio kuonekanaga ta maundu mamwe mena thina muno riu twikuo okorwo ni aruti a wira meku mararuta wira ni muramona aria maroka kuo ni maramona aria maramakora na kuria ria ndeto cia kwendia kahua ni muramona ukai tucario tonga wa kahua tutikuonera gutwara mundu ungi gutwarira mundu ungi kahua tukuona na gwithira kahua kwendia kahua gaitu twi hamwe itikirai tu tedu ihinda ni ikinyu.
My name is Irene Kabochi, the CEO of Murang'a Farmers Co-operative Union and its subsidiary Murang'a County Coffee Dealers. We are here at Murang'a Coffee Mills and this is a coffee mill constructed to mill Murang'a coffee farmers coffee and the genesis of the mill is tied to the coffee reforms that we all know about. because the spirit of the coffee reforms was to have farmers own their process. That is, produce their coffee, mill their coffee, and market their own coffee. So when the reform started, we knew we needed to align ourselves. And in 2021, we began the journey of constructing this mill. The mill was officiated last year by our then Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, and we began working. Essentially, the purpose of this mill is to mill parchment coffee from our farmers. We have the history that we are an apex body as a union of our 51 to 57 cooperative societies in the county. And so what we did here is to dignify the farmers by ensuring that they have a place that they can bring their coffee. But more than that, the mill offers a lot of transparency because farmers own this. The union is owned by farmers by shareholding and affiliation. So when they bring their coffee here, the coffee is home. They can come here, they can watch us mill the coffee, grade the coffee, they walk around their own property, and they feel that ownership. And so we are proud to have brought this on board. But in the process then, the union, in terms of its operation, is to manage the societies, the entire coffee value chain. And what the union has done is to position them itself. And within the last, if I would go back to within the last 1 to 2 years, is that the union has been ensuring that its structures are ready to receive the coffee, mill it for their farmers, and prepare it for the market. And we've done pretty well. In the last 1 year, when we started operations, we've milled coffee for more than 18 societies and 30 estate farmers. Coffee that has been milled with the highest speed, precision, and efficiency, and we'll be hearing it also from farmers. And what we did is that our farmers have realized that closer home, they have an institution that cares for them, that is theirs, that they are part of, and that has been very good. So in terms of the union focus, currently where we are with its subsidiary, our focus is to lift the life of our farmers in terms of their livelihood. And how do we do that? We have a 5-year strategic plan as an institution. And the pillars that we are majoring on are in production, because coffee is our main operations in the union. In terms of production for our farmers, because within production, therein lies one of the pain point area for our farmers, and that is the production cost. So what the union is doing in terms of ability to aggregate the coffee, we manage that production aspect. One, from our farm, where we are seated is part of Ikondo farm. We just hived 5 acres and constructed the coffee mill. So within the farm, there is the production component where we propagate coffee for the right varieties. Because when you talk about production, then the farmers need to have the right variety right at the start. So we propagate the coffee, we prepare the seedlings, we graft for them, then we plow that back to our cooperative societies. That is to ensure even the coffee eventually that will come to the mill is coffee of the right variety, right quality, and even quantities. And when I talk about quantities, coffee in terms of its alignment is that quantity and qualities go together. When we increase quantity, quality comes up. And coffee is sold by quality, the cup profile. So back to our support for our farmers in terms of production, that pain point area, most of it is in the cost of production. And what we are doing for our farmers is to ensure within the entire county we have agrovets or shops that we sell farm inputs for our farmers. The farm inputs are highly subsidized and they are genuine from the main companies. That is to ensure, again, farmers get the right input and they get them on time. But beside that, and the purpose of having the mill ready is to ensure we can aggregate our coffee. The purpose of aggregating means you aggregate, then you can prepare it for the market together. Milling coffee for our farmers also means one thing, that in terms of grade realization, there is no doubt. Farmers can come and watch as we mill, as we grade. In the last 1 year, we have noticed a sharp increase. We are yet to establish whether it's an increase or it's a declaration in terms of our premium grading declarations. It's been done previously by different millers, commercial millers, but what we heard our farmers confess this time around is that they've realized premium grades that they never thought they produce. And that tells you in terms of transparency, because that's where you begin to lose your coffee money right at the mill. Because if you don't realize the right grades, then what you take to the market then differ from the genuine position. So for this mill, farmers can be sure, because they come here, they watch as we mill, as we bag the coffee, they are free, it's their mill. I indicated earlier that these mills belong to them. And so this is devoid of secrecy, devoid of dishonesty, and that's where most of the coffee value was being lost, even before it gets to the market. Remember, these grades are what will get to the market. So if you begin to lose them here, then it means definitely even at the market level, the value is already lost. So for us, the dignity we've given to the farmers is to ensure that the right grade realization is true and is honest to the point. We have a 5-year strategic plan. And the 5-year strategic plan, majorly and within the pillars are really pretty much anchored around production, processing, and marketing. Our current production in Murang'a per coffee bush averagely is 1.5 kilogram per coffee bush. That is too low. In terms of business economy or agripreneur economy, makes no business sense. A coffee bush needs to produce between 6 to 7 kgs to make businesses or to do what you call break even. So what we're doing currently is that we know our farmers are doing well, and of course others, that's an average. So it means there are others who are doing already that 7, but in average it's 1.5. But how then do we maximize a coffee bush, and especially most of our farmers that are doing SL28 and Roro 11, has capacity to produce between 20 and 30 kgs. And so for us to be doing an average of 1.5 to 2 to 3, we are really at the bottom. So what does the union envisage to do in terms of within our strategic plan is to support our farmers within the production value chain to ensure that we can move the current production from 1.5 kgs to 6 kgs. That is a 4-fold growth. And what do we mean by that, and what do we want to achieve by that? It means our farmers will have broken even in terms of the production. It also means the current production of 31 million kgs will move to 128 million kilograms, or 128,000 metric tons. The pain point area for the farmer is access to affordable and timely farm inputs, agronomical support. And we are working backwards. We are saying if we are able to process this coffee together, leverage on the economies of scale, it also means that we are able to also bulk purchase our fertilizers, our pesticides, our fungicides, our farm inputs, and plow them back to the farmer. Because for us, we are interested with the long-term development of our farmer. We are interested with the livelihood of our farmers getting up. Currently, with the current production, it means if you to do the economies of scale, farmers are not on a profit scale. They are already producing below the profit scale. And so for us, our vision is how do we support production? But the farmers themselves must support us to support them. Because as an institution with the ability to aggregate, it means then we can order fertilizers together in bulk for our societies. And it's not a new story. This is what the giant Murang'a Farmers Co-operative Union used to do. Used to import fertilizer from Russia in bulk. It would provide all our farmers with subsidized fertilizer, and even the counties that were surrounding us. So it's possible. All our structures are still live. When I joined the institution 3 years ago, when I scanned around, I knew practically why we are positioned for a win is because all the structures that were there during the giant union were intact. All our properties were intact. In fact, what we've done since then is to add into the infrastructure line, because we built this mill. This is a mill of over 120 million. And the union is able to pay because, again, it's shareholders, it's delegates who give us that approval. We have the brokerage to have a brokerage license as the only institution in the county is such a profound thing for a farmer, because again, it means they can consolidate their marketing and their milling together. The leverage on that is in bulk purchases, leveraging on institutions being able to listen to us, because we have the economies of scale in terms of our ability to negotiate, and even importing from outside the country. And so we cannot overestimate, we cannot overemphasize the need for us to work together.
So this is a Murang'a Union, which is owned by farmers, and this is a quarry lab. So when the farmer delivers the coffee, we normally draw sample. As you can see this one, it has details of the farmer, the outturn, and the grade. So when we draw the sample, this is a sample hara. It's a laboratory hara, whereby like this one was about 1 kilogram, and we harrowed here. After we harrow, we look at the indicative milling loss of the byproduct and the moisture content. If the coffee is millable, big rot, like over 50 bags, and is below 13% moisture content, then it qualifies to be milled. If it is like 2-3 bags, then, and it qualifies, it has to wait for other similar coffee with the same quality to be bulked. Now from here, I will pick this sample, and I come over here. This is a sample roaster. You can see here, like I have a sample here I had already done before. This coffee, I put here like 100 grams, and I roast it to attain roasted beans. For quality analysis, we do medium roast, because medium roast, it is able to exhibit many of attributes, like the acidity, the body, the attributes, the good quality attributes, flavors. And of course, it has some bad smell, or it was not properly handled. I'll be able to smell and taste those off flavors. It can be tainted or foul. Intensity is very high. So after that, I'll weigh 12 grams. And 12 grams will take care of 150 milliliters of water. The water I will boil to 100 degrees Celsius, and then I grind 12 grams and I pour the water. Like this one, I have poured the water here, this cup, and then I will allow it to cool between 50 to 70 degrees Celsius so that I don't burn my tongue, okay? So after it cools, now I'll come, and of course, before even I taste, I don't have to look at analyze the low grains, the raw beans. I look at the size, the color. For specialty coffee, when you look at the sky blue is for specialty. But of course, as the quality deteriorates, the color changes. So here I'll look at the color. I'll also look at the size of the beans, because a good farmer who has done good agricultural practices would have to have bold beans. So we may have bold as quality go down to medium mix, small mix, small, okay? And then we look at the defect count. Defect counts, these are defects that have originated from the farm. Maybe insect damaged, deceased. Then at the wet mill, they could be broken because the machine was not well set. And again, now I also look at the roast. The roast, I look at the color of the roast. Is it bright? Is it normal or darish or dull? As the quality goes down as I described. Then I look at the center cut. When this bean is roasted, for good quality coffee, the center cut, the line in between here should remain white. But as quality deteriorates, it may be normal, brownish brown. Then I'll look at the pale. The pale are the ones which are not really looking good chocolate, because there was a deficiency of ions at the farm level. Now at this point now I'll weigh the 12 grams and grind and put in this cup. This cup holds 150 milliliters of water. So when I grind my coffee, then I pour the water, which is 100 degrees Celsius. Then I allow it to cool, and I'll come, I break the crust. The crust are the residues on the top, and I will skip them so that when I'm tasting, they do not choke me. So when it's cool, as I said, between 50 and 70, I will now slap it in my tongue. If you have been to car wash, you see how they drift the water as they wash the car. That kind of drift is what I'm trying to drive into my mouth. And the coffee spread to all my sensory buds. At the tip of my tongue, it tastes sugar. At the side here, it tastes salt. At the center there, it tastes the kind of the citric or kind of sourness. At the back of my throat, it tastes the bitterness. So, like if, for instance, we talk of the family of orange, yeah, the lemon, it will trigger my tongue. It's not pleasing. Maybe orange, which is seed, it is sweet and also a bit sourish. For a seedless orange, it is sweet. Okay, so I'll be able to tell. In case also this coffee has some defect in taste, in terms of taste, I will be able to tell. Like for a bone, it is not well dried, and when they were drying it while there is dust. We say coffee is hygroscopic. It can pick any flavor, good or bad, and I will be able to test it here. Like for bone, because of the dust, it's like when you are walking during the day, it's sunny and it starts raining. That dust you feel as you walk, I also depict it in the coffee. Yeah, I can now be able to sense or to tell the acidity is sparkling, pleasant. Yeah, it's pleasing. I can tell the body. The body is mild weight in my tongue. Like when you are tasting water and you also drink chocolate. The aftertaste, the mouthfeel, the body, it will not be the same. Same case with the coffee. Now I'll be able to describe the acidity, the body, the aftertaste, the flavor, and also look at, is it the cup balance? Is it balanced? Is sweet? Is the cup cream? And now also take notes, because I'll have to give the farmers the report back so that they are able to improve, because these are a tool for them to improve. Where there was a discrepancy or there was a challenge, I'll be able to bring it up to them so that they can go improve. Now, I told you I'm a trained Q grader. A Q grader is an international taster. If this coffee I'm tasting here is given to somebody in Tokyo or DC, New York, or somebody in Sydney, Austria, we should be able to derive the same report. What I find, the flavors I find, they should be able to derive out of it. The scores out of 100, because we score the acidity out of 10, the body out of 10, the aroma fragrance out of 10, the acidity, the balance, the sweetness, the uniformity, the creaminess, the overall. The 10 points, they add up to, if you multiply, they add up to 100. So for specialty, it's between 83 to 100 to 90. Over 90 is outstanding. For premium is 80 to 82.75%. For commercial is anything below 80, that is 79 and below. So this coffee I'm tasting here, this one is a premium. Actually, this is a specialty because it's what we call anaerobic coffee, which is today new technology. This is fully washed. It's also a specialty. It was scoring 86.75% out of 100. This one is it's a premium. It is scoring about 82.5%. Yeah. So that's how we do it. And again, as we had walked around the dry mill, where we were doing the milling of the parchment, for Kenyan parchment, grade 8, parchment 1, we produce 7 grades. Actually, on the milling, physical milling, or the screen grading, we produce 6 grades. That is AA, AB, P berry. We have C and C and T. But we have another one, E, which is normally very few. Out of 100, you can get 1%. And then we have T, which is the least in terms of size. So here we are grading according to sizes. But again, out of this, we will subject, like where you saw the grafted separator, we will put this AA to separate the light and heavy. About 3 to 5% you would find it's light. We keep it aside. Then we also subject this AB to the graphic table separator, and 3 to 5% is light. Then the light we got from AA and AB, we'll bulk it together to get the 7th grade, which you call grade E. Grade TT rather, I'm sorry, grade TT. And now the heavy one, they have already improved in quality, and then it go as AA or AB. I did a lot of all the farmers from Murang'a who did their meeting and selling from this facility. They are farmers who have done exemplary good. For instance, we have Moroka, Gudoro. Yeah, they paid 118, and they have never experienced that. They have been paying their coffee. The coffee they have been, the price they have been paid previously was, I think, 65 to 70. But this time around, they came here in their facility. I was able to evaluate their coffee to give them the real value of what it is. And when it went to the auction, those buyers who competed, they were buying it at even of 350 per 50 bags. And when they produced their rate, they paid 118. We have Murang'a, who had also wonderful coffee, exemplary coffee, specialty, yeah. And when they sold their coffee at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange, it was getting the best price. For instance, there was one lot which was bought at 425 per 50 kilogram. And when they went to pay their rate to their farmers, they paid 120 per kilo of cherry. So we are doing very well as a Murang'a. And of course, during the auction time, Murang'a was always either number 1 overall or number 2, having just entered to the market to float or to sell the coffee on behalf of their farmers.
For us in coffee sector, we have been having challenge from the year 2000. We were almost giving up with coffee, but finally we went on and on until here we are now. We are very lucky to have the Murang'a Farmers Millers with us, because they have made us feel that we have to go on with coffee. Otherwise, we have so many challenges in coffee. Type of milling, time of picking, maintenance, so many things around us, because many people gave up. So even the quality and quantity still goes down. But through Murang'a Farmers, they made us proud, because from the time we partnered with them, we have woken up. People now are coming back to the shamba. They are trying to make up, trying to plant some seedlings. Still, the Murang'a Farmers have helped us with the seedlings, because especially like this factory, if we have some coffee, enough coffee to pick, we won't have challenges with our workers, because sometimes they go for 2, 3 to 4 months without pay, because our coffee sector, it's down. So normally we work with loans, and loans, you know very well that the interest is very high, and still the coffee sector has not come to the point we would like to. Because sometimes, let's say last year or recently, we got 107 in this factory. It was a big joy to all our members, because for the few years back, there is a time we got 10 shillings per kilo. And that's the time when many people cultivated this tree. The few who are left, we joined together, tried to give education, try to bring people together, show them the interest of this. But our chairman has done a lot, because he has so much interest in this plant. And he is the one who helped us to go to the Murang'a Union to join them. And they have done a lot for us. The education they give us, it's well received to us, and let's say in future, I see we're going far because people have woken up. Through their education, we as committee members, we normally go around our farm, our members' farm to check what they are doing. So we try to work together. What do I mean? The spraying time. We spray the same time. We give the same foliar fertilizer. Sometimes, like now, it's cold, so we expect CBD. We accept leaf blast. So we come together and see what are we going to do, which spray are we going to use. So we go together to make our members feel that they are, because many members didn't have enough knowledge in this plant. So they just think it's to plant and wait for to pick. But recently, as we are given the education by the Murang'a farmers, we have gone far. And we are very happy with the CEO because she promised that immediately you bring coffee to us. We will mill, market, and immediately they don't keep our money. So with timely, we are through with them.
As a country, we need to develop the coffee drinking culture. We haven't gotten it very well. And so it's one of the pillars in our strategic plan. How do we ensure that the domestic local consumption is embraced more? So what we are doing for our farmers, and especially the societies that are bringing coffee with us, we have allowed them to choose a little bit of their other grades that they are sure they can consume back home. We package for them, and that's the plan within our strategic plan, that we'll be able to value add all the lower grades for our farmers and plow it back for them to consume. That, again, of course, reduces our reliance on our export market, and it strengthens our purchasing, our value for our coffee, because, again, over-reliance means what you're offered is what you take, because you don't have the culture of taking it. Ethiopia today is consuming more than 40% of their coffee. It means what is left, everybody is scrambling for it because it's little. So we need as a country also to develop that culture. And one of the things we've done, we looked, I scanned around and I realized the demographic nature of our coffee farmer is 50 years and above. And so for continuity, we had to look at how then do we ensure that our youth are also embracing the coffee business. And what we did is to ensure that within this farm, which is a 60-acre farm, we hived over 2 acres exclusively. And through our county government, because it's a liaison between us and the county government, we hived off the 2 acres and we gave them to our youth. The youth plowed the land, they dug the holes, they prepared the holes, they planted the coffee with their patron, who is the deputy governor of this county. He's young, by then he was, I think, 29 years, the youngest in the country. And he led the youth to realize that there's money in agribusiness, and that was the message.